This video is about glowing up as a whole, really leveling up mentally, leveling up your brand, leveling up your body. Like, you attract where you are in life. So make sure your brain is together, make sure your brand is together, make sure your body is together, and make sure your money is together. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra, and here on my channel we are all about creating a life you love. So that being said, we're gonna hop into today's video. So today we are talking glow up. Now, if you search glow up online, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a lot of videos on how to change your outwardly appearance. But today we're gonna be covering glow up from a total person, like a total picture kind of situation here. We're gonna be going over 4 B's. 3 of these B's actually come from Tony Gaskins, and that is brain, brand, body. And I am going to be adding bank onto that because money is definitely important when it comes to glowing up your life. So today's video, we're gonna cover how to glow up mentally, how to create a standout personal brand, and how to prioritize your health, and honestly, how to get your finances together. I feel like within this past year, I have truly transformed my life, really focusing on these 4 B's. And I think it is very important that you invest in yourself, because at the end of the day, you are your best investment. If you put money into the stock market, you don't know what it's going to do. If you put money into real estate, you don't know what it's going to do. But if you put money and time into yourself, you're going to multiply. You're going to become better. You're going to be able to walk in purpose. You're going to be able to handle the things that God has called you to. So with that being said, we're going to hop into our first tip. The first B is going to be brain. And that is really just a place of mastering your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality, and that sounds very cliche, but that is very much 100% true. If you are in a place of hopelessness, if you are in a place of despair, your life is going to look hopeless. Your life is going to be a freaking mess. And it is easier said than done to just simply shift your mindset, but I promise you, that is the key to life. So learn to shift yourself from a place of self-doubt to a place of just being a confident being, like literally. And confidence doesn't just kind of like come overnight. Honestly, I think it's a place to where you have to live in delusional land for a minute. Like, you got to be a little delulu. You got to think like a child, like really think big, think like everything that you want. Like, be confident that you can actually have those things, because honestly, guys, you can have whatever you want in this life. You don't have to settle for crumbs. You don't have to settle for less. Like, you can have whatever you want as long as you believe it. So your mind is powerful. Your brain is powerful. And it is simply just a space of really learning to master that. Because honestly, you hold a lot of power within yourself and you don't even realize it. So a way you can actually do this is actually by focusing on gratitude and self-awareness. I feel like when you get to that place of where you're having these negative thoughts and these limited beliefs, like it's coming from a negative space. So learn to really start to practice being positive by being grateful for the things that you already have. Grateful for the roof that you have on your head, grateful for the feet that you have to walk around, grateful for the job that you think you hate, but it's paying your bills, grateful for the breath in your lungs. As long as you are alive, as long as you're able-bodied, God is giving you another opportunity to go after the things that he's called you to go after the things that you actually want. God will give you the desires of your heart. But if you're sitting around being a negative Nancy, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're just going to sit there and pretty much be like a mad ass person. And like, that's no fun. Like, really start to look at life as an opportunity. Like, you have an opportunity to go after so many things as long as you are alive. So why not do that? So I'm going to give you some daily practices that can kind of help you get into this place to really learn to transform your mind. And that can be like journaling, like get your thoughts out on paper. It can come from a place of like scripting. I have an actual video on this, but like scripting is a technique to where you write everything that you want in life as if it has already happened. Write it with full of emotion, and I promise you it'll come true. Like, write the story to your life and write a good story. If you struggle with like negative dialogue in your head, start to practice affirmations. And it can seem cliche to walk around and say, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. And like, it kind of even be awkward, but like, listen to them. Like, they have them on YouTube, play them in the car, put them on your mirror. I know y'all used to watch Being Mary Jane. She had sticky notes everywhere in her house, but that is how you keep pouring into yourself. Journaling, affirmations, things like that. And this really helps you create a positive outlook on life, because when life is life and then life is crazy, I don't know if this is like a Pisces thing, but I will dive into that imagination so quick and really like live in that space. But people call me delusional. People say I live in a dream world. But every time I come out of my delusion, come out of my daydream, I get what I want. So I say go to Delulu land and really get focused on and really get focused on the things that you actually want in life and how to master your mindset and really come up out of that place of like negativity. Another thing that I think is important when it comes to mastering your mindset is actually having a growth mindset. Something that Tony talks about all the time is always be taking in new knowledge. When I tell you guys, it was one point where I was listening to him every single day. However, like he talks a lot about like love and relationships, but he also gives like a lot of business advice too. But I don't really need as much as like the love and relationship stuff anymore, but I think it's so important to just listen to him because he gives like game on everything. And if you don't want to listen to Tony, you can listen to like Mel Robbins, you can listen to Sarah Jakes, you can listen to so many people. If you don't want to listen to people online, pick up a book, find a course, find a podcast, just really learn to sit in a place where you can kind of expand your perspective. Like, if you sit around and you're not taking in any new knowledge, we've been out of school a long time. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be 30. So I've been out of school a hot little minute. Like if you're surrounding yourself by the same old, you're not taking in anything new, your mindset is going to be stuck in that negative place. So practice mastering your mindset, practice gratitude, get out of that space of like self-doubt, negative energy, and really get set and clear on the things that you want in your head. And the next thing is going to be brand. And this is building your brand identity. Whether you know it or not, you are a brand. You are a walking billboard for yourself, whether it's your personal brand or whether you have a business. Like if you know it or not, you're being perceived in some kind of way. So make sure you're being perceived how you actually want to be perceived. So whether you're a creative, whether you're an entrepreneur, like you need to be showing up as the person that you are trying to portray. So essentially it's like you have to be consistent. Consistency is key. And your brand isn't just about how you look. It's about how you show up like online and even in person. Like if you show up like so negative, like in person, and then you get online and you're like this super bubbly person, people who watch you and know you in real life are going to be like, she is so freaking fake. Like, and honestly, you shouldn't care about what people think, but I think it's important to show up online and in person as the person as authentically as possible. And I think staying authentic to your values and the things that you actually want will help you with your brand. As far as like building out your personal brand, I think it's so important, especially in a time like this. Like, I just think personally, our country doesn't want us to have as much power as we have. And you don't know that you have this much power, but like they're getting rid of TikTok because people are making money, people are talking too much, people know too much, and it honestly is taken away from you going to work, because if people are making money online, there's no reason to have to go work at all these places. Like people are creating a level of freedom for themselves, and that starts by working on your brand. So I think it's important to figure out, whether if you want to go to a job or whatnot, you still have a brand. I think some practical steps to working on building an intentional personal brand is to really audit your life, audit your social media, and really evaluate, are you showing up as the person that you need to be? And I think that is an easy practical step to start with. Figure out what you need to change, figure out what you need to adjust, and really just begin to show up as that person. Create something that you cannot be fired from, create some sort of legacy, some type of inspiration that you can pass on to others. And you do that through your brand. So the next B is going to be body. Body was the most exciting thing for me to work on. Within this past year, I dropped quite a bit of weight. I'm officially down 70 pounds. I literally went from 194 pounds to 125 pounds, and I feel amazing. Coming from a person who has always struggled with her weight, I was a chubby child, I was bullied. Being in this new body feels refreshing, feels amazing, feels lighter. I just feel confident to show up as the person that I know I'm supposed to be. So I think it's important to, when you think about body, really think about prioritizing your health. Just to be blunt, just to be honest, you attract where you are in life. You attract what you look like. You attract where you are mentally. You attract like what brand level you are on. So really be conscious of that when you're thinking about these 4 B's that we're going over today. So when I say body, prioritize your health. Personally, for myself, I had a cancer scare back in 2021. And it really just helped me shape my mindset on how I think about like body and health. I learned to really fall in love with like taking care of myself. I had a thyroid problem, which made me gain like weight and made it almost pretty much impossible to get it off. Like, here we are 4 years later and I've just got the weight off. That's crazy. But I think it's important to listen to your body because I had been working out and the scale wasn't moving. So that made me really prioritize my health and say, hey, something's not right here. And I went to the doctor and I figured out it was something with the thyroid, and we got that all kind of like squared away. So I think it's important to really take a look at your body, how you look, how you feel on the inside, just to practice some self-care rituals for the body. I would say the glow up journey can be very emotional, I would say. Like just bettering yourself all the way around, and is an emotional experience. Couldn't get that out. So I think it's important that you really prioritize, your stress management during that time, your skincare, your rest. Like that is all a part of your body, all part of prioritizing your health. I think it's important to really think about life as, progress over perfection. Make small, manageable changes so it's not just like hard at once and you get burnt out. Make it sustainable. This life is truly a marathon and not a sprint. So take your time. Like a lot of people get online and they're like, oh, I lost weight in this 1 year. I lost 70 pounds, but that was over a course of 2 years. This past year in 2024 just happened to be, I lost a lot more weight. In 2023, I think I lost like 20 to 30 pounds. And then in 2024, I lost like 40 to 50 pounds. And it kind of just depends because I did fluctuate a bit in between those years. But just a total number, 70 pounds. But it didn't happen overnight. And I had been working out for a long time, like probably since like 2013. Like I worked out all through college, but was still like big because I wasn't prioritizing my health. I was still eating like crazy. I hadn't established a mindset on how to look at food, how to look at health. Like I really was not truly thinking about myself as a brand, myself as a person, because even when I go back and I look at pictures of myself, I don't recognize myself. Like, I'm like, wow, I didn't know I looked like that. And we live in a society to where like people, like they praise, oh, the thick is better. And like, I truly just thought I was thick. Like, and I was just like, okay, well, people are saying like, you're fine how you are. But losing the weight made me a lot more confident, made me feel a lot better just like physically. Like I was running at the gym today and I felt so light and so airy and just literally moving, just more agile. That is the kind of things that you have to think about when it comes to prioritizing your body. So the last B is going to be bank. And I think it is so important that you make smart financial decisions, that you get your finances together, because money is an important thing about life. Money drives a lot of people, and I wouldn't say money is like the end all be all, but you have to learn to switch your mindset that you have around money. I was a person who definitely used to live paycheck to paycheck, but I always knew like I could get more money than this. And I'm not super logical about like how I think about money. I have a very delulu mindset about money. I have a very big imagination when it comes to money. I feel like my fiance is very logical when it comes to this kind of stuff. And while being logical is smart, he is also a financial analyst. So that's what he looks at every day. But I just think you can't be super logical when it comes to money, because that will keep you in a place of like lack. You have to believe that you can get more, because if you don't believe that you can get more, it's not going to come to you. And that goes back to the whole glow up in general. Like you have to learn to master your mindset, to have positive beliefs about money. Don't think of money from a place of like lack. Like, even though I've been in a place to where like my credit score was low, I've lived paycheck to paycheck, I've had plenty of overdraft fees in my life. Now my life looks completely different financially. I make six figures, and I didn't start off making six figures. I think I graduated in college in 2017. My first job out of college, I was making 15 an hour. So I went from 15 an hour to whatever it is an hour to make six figures a year. But that didn't happen with me staying in a place of kind of like lack. I kind of even think like if I talk to my grandparents or things like that, they're like, oh, you got a good job, you better stay there. And it's, you do not realize you can make more money betting on yourself than betting on a job, than betting on a stock market, like betting on, oh, my job's going to give me a nice bonus. Like, you can make your salary in a few months really investing in yourself versus just waiting on, oh, they're going to pay me. They're going to pay me. I don't think that's the way to live life, but you have to really learn to get to a place of abundance around money. That's how I think about money. I really don't even think about the how I'm going to get it. I just know what's going to happen. And it's been plenty of times where I felt like I could be in a place of like panicking, like, oh, my money's getting low. But like, God always seems to drop random deposits on me. My job randomly gives you $500, randomly gives me $1,000. Even over the Christmas break, my job randomly gave us an extra $1,000. I didn't even notice it. I had already spent it. And I'm like, oh, dang, I had an extra $1,000. Like, that's because I don't think about money from a place to like, oh, am I going to have enough? Like, I just know more is going to come. And I think that can be scary for some people, especially like if you're not responsible. And I wouldn't say that I'm 100% the most responsible. So I'm no expert. So don't listen to take everything with a grain of salt here. But I think it's important to know, your means, know how to stay within your means at the same time, but also believe that you can have so much more. Let me give you a few things that I think is important when it comes to getting your finances together. Like I said, I'm no financial expert, so take this with a grain of salt. Learn to really track your spending. Something that I had to do is I get, maybe 2 to 3 paychecks out the month. So I set my finances up in an Excel spreadsheet, and I have the bills that come out the first check and the bills that come out the second check. So I know how much money I will have left from each check, and whether I want to go buy myself something nice or whether I want to put that on a credit card. That is how I look at my finances. I wouldn't necessarily say that I have like a budget. Like I said, I have an abundant mindset, so I just kind of know money's always coming to me. At least track your spending, even if you don't have a budget. Know what you're working with and know how much you have left, and you be the judge of where you want to spend that money. The next thing that I'm going to be working on within this year, which is going to be really snowballing my debt. This past year, I really focused on like my body and prioritizing my health. But this year, I'm really going to be taking a look at my finances. So what I'm planning to do is really aggressively snowball my debt. I am a part of a Dave Ramsey group with my church. My mom has also bought me a book. I also see his videos online, and I have a snowball tracker that shows me, like, I put all my I put all of my credit cards in, I put the interest, I put the minimum payments, and it tells me what year I'm going to pay everything off by just simply paying the minimum payments. I also have an option inside the spreadsheet to where I can put like how much extra I have a month, and like it'll tell me where to put that money, what debt to put that money on. So I think that is super, super crucial, super important. So that is something that I'm focusing on, this year, is really just kind of getting that debt in control, because it's like I make a lot of money, but if I owe everybody, it's like you can't really enjoy the fruits of your labor. But like I said, I don't really have a negative mindset around it. I know more money's going to come, but I still want to make sure I get, the debt under control that I have, because if you don't pay your debt, it's going to grow. Whether you believe it or not, it's going to grow, because that interest, I had a point to where I had a credit card and I got it up to like $10,000, and it was like the minimum payment isn't doing anything because the interest is going to be so much more that it's just going to continue to grow. So something that I actually did with that car is I balance transferred that money, that card balance, to a new card with zero interest, so that way I could aggressively begin to pay down that debt. So that is a trick for anybody who may be in a pinch with like credit card debt and the interest is really whooping your butt. Do a debt transfer if you can. Another thing that I'm going to be working on this year is really building out a solid emergency fund. I did have a pretty decent emergency fund, but we actually bought a house in 2024. So the savings kind of dwindled a bit. So I think it's important to build my savings back up this year. So I'm excited to do that. And a way that I like to build my savings is I get, a bonus from my job. I get taxes. And when I get that money back, I personally have a high yield savings account. So when I put money into my savings account, I'm getting interest on that money. So I take, a few dollars from my paycheck every 2 weeks, and that automatically goes into my savings. And then my savings is paying interest on top of that money. So the more you put in your savings, the more interest it can actually build. So if you have, these big lump sums of money coming in, so say like it's about to be tax season, instead of blowing your taxes, you could put your taxes in a high yield savings account and actually make more money. Like I said, I'm no financial expert, but I know that's something that is helpful. Another thing that I actually signed up for this year is a Roth IRA. I actually had some retirement money from my previous job in Michigan, and I decided to roll that into an additional Roth IRA. Not the one that I have with my current job, like a whole separate account. Because the thing is, like, your job, I have a pretty good job. Like, they match us, I think, to 6% or something like that. So it's like I really aggressively starting to put into my 401k, but like it's not going to be as much as you think it is. So make sure you are, putting money in an additional account as well. So yeah, that's my little spiel on like getting your money and your life together. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I think it's important that you learn to have a different mindset about money. Learn that money is going to be coming, easily and effortlessly to you. I'm telling you, like, my fiance, he's very logical. And I used to tell him, I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, it's going to come to me. And he thinks I'm crazy, but like, it was one point to where I'm like, I'm going to make money from YouTube. I don't care. Like, I'm going to get my YouTube money. And I making money from YouTube, but that actually started from me believing in myself, believing that money is going to come. So I'm getting my first check on the 21st. So I'm super excited about that. But you have to believe that, guys, like I said. So let's just do a quick little recap. So we're going to talk about the 4 B's again. Your brain, brand, body, and bank. Master your mindset. Build up your brand identity. You have one, whether you know it or not, and your brand can make you some solid money as well. So really figure out who you want to be, show up as that authentically every single day, prioritize your health, and get your finances together. So like I said, this video is about glowing up as a whole, really leveling up mentally, leveling up your brand, leveling up your body. Like, you attract where you are in life. So make sure your brain is together, make sure your brand is together, make sure your body is together, and make sure your money is together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is something a little bit different, but I think it's important. Like I said, I feel like I had a really nice glow up in 2024. And that stems from me focusing on me, investing in me. And I want you guys to take these 4 B's and figure out what you need to do better in all of these categories. And I promise you, within the next year, you are going to have a completely different life as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Bye. She got me wildin' now. Rory,